Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So I haven't filmed for a really long time. Like the last video I filmed was I'm pretty sure it was last March or something. Anyway, so my channel has been quite dead for quite a few months, which isn't to say I didn't want to film. It's just that I've just got caught up on other things, and then YouTube just sort of fell on the wayside, and I kept pushing it off and procrastinating. But since now it's 2022, it's a new year and a new month, so I decided as one of my New Year resolutions to actually revive my YouTube channel and start posting consistently. For first video of 2022, I'm planning to film all the books I've read in 2021. I've really wanted to film one of these type of videos for a really long time, because I really enjoy watching other booktubers film these older books I've read in a year videos, and because I'm a really big bookworm. And in total I've read 76 books last year, which isn't as much as I hoped I would, because I actually set a goal to read 100 books last year, but I didn't. But still, 76 is a really big improvement for me, since so when I was little I used to read over 100 books every single year, but then after I started high school and I started taking exams, then my reading sort of just fell to the wayside, because with all the exams and stress and COVID lockdowns, which actually happened during my last year of high school, so I really just got distracted from reading. And the year before last year, I literally only read 5 books, and so 76 books is a major improvement on 5 books which I read in 2020. Anyway, so I will be showing all the books I've read. So I'll start with a month-to-month breakdown. So in January I've read The Little Paris Bookshop, a gorgeous book, and I've read the entire Harry Potter series across January and February. Something really weird, I've actually read the Harry Potter series in the reverse order for some reasons. So I've actually haven't read the Harry Potter series until last year, but then I've actually had this whole series since I was 10 years old. I've just never started reading them, because when I was little, that was back when Harry Potter was still extremely popular, because the last films, Deathly Hallows, were just coming out, so basically everyone was reading them, and then I was just going onto this different from everyone else feeling, because I just saw everyone reading them, and so I just really disliked them, which I think it's quite a personal bias, because I just wanted to stand out, and that made me put off Harry Potter series. Anyway, so I finally started reading them last year, and it was not a disappointment, of course. At first I didn't want to read the books, so I started reading the Harry Potter at literally the last chapter, the Battle of Hogwarts, because that's basically the climax, the most important part of the entire series. And then I just got so sucked into the story that I just read the entire book, and then I started reading the rest of the series in reverse order. So that's a really peculiar way of reading a book series, but I did manage to go through them all in 2 months. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, which I read in January, and then February I basically just read the rest of the series. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Okay, so in March I've read 4 books. I've read The Outsider by Albert Camus, Dr. Faustus, which is part 1 of the texts we're studying in my literature degree. I've also read 2 plays. Stolen, which is an Australian play about Aborigines and the Stolen Generation, which I borrowed from the library, so I don't have it with me right now. And also The Glass Menagerie by Tennessee Williams, which I read online, so I also don't have a copy. Okay, so in April I've only read 1 book, which is The Power of Doing Less, which is the first self-help book I've read, because I was just watching so many YouTube videos about reading self-help books. A lot of study tubers were advocating about reading self-help books, so I decided to grab myself one and start reading. In May I read 2 books, The Lost Apothecary and Meet Me in Paradise. These 2 books are from a book club subscription I was part of called Once Upon a Book Club, which it's got a sticker here showing it, which is basically a book box where they send you a book every single month, and along with the book they also give you 3 or 4 objects which are inspired from the books. Okay, so in June I've also only read 1 book, which is Orinoco, which is also one of my books for my literature course. In July I've read 9 books, which is a really big increase from the last few months. I've read A Betting Woman, also part of the book club, The Lost Love Song, The Red Badge of Courage, Daisy Miller, The Little Prince, Benito Sereno, and The Piazza Tales from this short story collection, and The American Scholar from Emerson's collection. In August I've read 8 books. I've read Civil Disobedience, The Dictionary of Lost Words, The Art of War, Miss Benson's Beadle, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym from Edgar Allan Poe's collection. I've also read The Heroic Slave and Captivity Narrative of Mary Rowlandson, which I don't have a physical copy because I've read them online as they were part of my literature degree. And I've also read a play called Nora, which is a modern adaptation of Henrik Ibsen's A Doll's House, which I've read as part of my uni theatre group. In September I've read 4 books. I've read Reset, the Traveling Cat Chronicles, which is just such a cozy book. It's a must read if you're a cat lover. And another essay from the Emerson collection, The Divinity School Address. In October, my reading finally started picking up, and I've read 14 books in total. I've read Sisters of the Resistance, 12 Angry Men, A Room of One's Own, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, The Old Man and the Sea, The Twits, After the Quake, Medea, Lady Susan, O Pioneers, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I also love this book. And Call Me By Your Name. And also, I've read another essay from the Emerson collection called Self-Reliance. And in November, I didn't read as many books again because exams were creeping up and I just got caught up with studying and taking my exams. But I still managed to read 5 books, and they were Midnight Library, Maurice, The Catcher in the Rye, North and South, and The Prophet. December, I've read a lot of books. In total, I've read 19 books, which is a personal record. It's the most number of books I've read in a month in my entire lifetime, I think. So they are okay. This entire pile Wuthering Heights, Secret History, White Sargasso Sea, Heart of Darkness, The Bell Jar, In Another Light, which is the last book I've received as part of my Once Upon a Book Club book subscription, The Prince, Kafka on the Shore, Civilization and Its Discontents, Fahrenheit 451, The Alchemist, Sense and Sensibility, Waiting for Godot, The Goat or Who's Sylvia, Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit, The Symposium, Candide, and last of all, The History of Sexuality by Michel Foucault. Okay, so that concludes all of the books with all of the books I've read in 2021. This year, I'm also gonna set a goal of reading 100 books, and hopefully I will achieve 100 books, actually 100 books this year, because last year I wasn't really reading quite consistently. Like, I know we shouldn't be reading just to meet a book count and just read like 100, 200 books just so like you can tick off a goal and meet your goal on Goodreads or something. Like, but I think setting like a goal for how many books to read a year can also be quite motivating, because like even if you don't manage to meet that goal, like at least you sort of just feel like you've got a commitment, like, because there's some days where like you just don't feel like reading, and then you remind yourself that, oh, you have to like read because you have a goal to meet, and so you're more likely to be committed that way, just so that at the end of the year like you won't feel like guilty for procrastinating. Yeah, so I definitely think reading quality and reading deep into a book, like reading a book well, is way better than just like reading for the sake of like a book count and meeting the numbers and not really even absorbing like the main information of the book and not getting much out of it. Nonetheless, I think it is also good to set a reading goal just so you can keep yourself accountable. Yeah, you can track down like how much reading you've been doing every month and every year. And yeah, so I am going to end here, but I am definitely going to be uploading more frequently from now on. So I am going to close this video right now. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.